Christina, can you tell me whether it works, if the share, if the screen works? Yeah? It's okay?
Yes.
Can you see the full screen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. So, and can I let you, Christina, like, I don't know if you can let them people in. Oh. Sorry. Yeah. I have just a technical issue. I don't know if people can join when. No, I have to let them in. That's not easy. Okay, I will manage. Okay, let's start. So, welcome to this webinar dedicated to Marie Sklodowska-Curie Action's Staff Exchange Call, 2025 call, currently open. Really, thank you very much for joining us. My name is Lucie Vaucel. I'm the head of the Project Development Support Office of EU-CONEXUS Plus. And I will introduce my colleagues in a few minutes, colleagues that who are with me today. The webinar will be organized as follows. I will make a short introduction, and then we will present my colleague Christina with me today from the Project Development Support Office will present the staff exchange call. And we have the great pleasure to have with us today Fanny Teroni, who will provide a valuable feedback from a successful applicant because her staff exchange project was selected for funding last year. And we will have a session, of course, a question and answer session. Feel free to write your questions in the chat in the course of the presentations. And I promise you, we will have a dedicated time to address them after the presentations. Please make sure that your microphones are off when we present. That will be easier for us. And also, just a reminder, we are recording this session. When registering on the EU-CONEXUS website, you agreed on that. So in case you are not, you disagree now, please react now. Otherwise, the webinar will be recorded to be put on the website, EU-CONEXUS public website afterwards. So that colleagues who couldn't join this morning can watch the webinar afterwards. Okay, no reaction, so I continue. What is the Project Development Support Office of EU-CONEXUS? It's one of the first transversal offices created for the EU-CONEXUS community more than 2 years ago now. It was established in the framework of the EU-CONEXUS Plus funding, that is the current Erasmus Plus funding supporting our European alliance. Its main overall objectives are the following. We aim at increasing EU-CONEXUS capacity to win more EU funds, in particular for research. We aim at developing capacity building, exchange of knowledge, expertise in terms of project development. And we aim at increasing also collaboration among the partners. You will see, we will talk a little bit about matchmaking between researchers today. And we aim at enhancing EU-CONEXUS community with regards to smart urban coastal sustainability challenges. That are the main challenges of the Alliance. I'm not the only one in the Project Development Support Office, fortunately. I have the help and I collaborate with 4 other colleagues. Christina Constantinidou, here with us today, and she's the person who will present you the conditions of the staff exchange call. But we have also Lino Gruber, another colleague from La Rochelle Université, but also involved in the Project Development Support Office of EU-CONEXUS. We have Adriana Sumanaru, the Romanian colleague involved in the PDSO, and Michel Maher from SCTU, the Irish colleague involved in the PDSO. A few examples of what PDSO does. We organize trainings and information sessions like today. We promote specific European programs to our community. And I take this opportunity to mention that our Romanian colleagues, UTCB, are organizing 5-day training program on EU funding, particularly addressed to young researchers, beginning of June, and registrations are open. So please, if you are interested, please disseminate this information. The training will take place in Bucharest from June 2nd to 6th. And the main title of the training is EU Fundings from Idea to Implementation. We develop and create and organize collaboration workshops. And I take this opportunity as well to mention that we will organize, and the information on our website will be communicated very soon. We organize research challenges workshops on upcoming Horizon Europe call for 2025 for collaborative projects. So we will organize in May, in the course of May, second half of May, we will organize 5 workshops dedicated to research, dedicated to upcoming calls, but for researchers, so for you. So please feel free to join also these trainings. It won't be training, it's more collaborative workshops where we will have identified specific calls and where we will discuss about the opportunity of these calls for our researchers community. We develop application boosting programs. Last year, we developed a postdoctoral fellowship program to to increase the number of postdoctoral fellowship applications, because it is a specific call under Horizon Europe as well. So we wanted to boost the number of applications at EU-CONEXUS level. Unfortunately, we couldn't renew this program this year, but hopefully we will do it next year. So this is an example of what we can do. And we help towards, with regards researchers matchmaking. If you are looking for a partner within the alliance and you don't know to whom you can address your request or your intention to answer a call for proposals, you can send us an email, and we can try to help you find other partners, relevant partners within the alliance. And last but not least, we are in charge of a seed funding call currently open. And I will explain you a little bit further what it is, because it's an ongoing call that is open until end of April. There will be a last call with a new deadline end of August, but the current call is still open, and it aims at developing small-scale projects between at least 2 partners of the alliance, and 2 projects related to 2 partners developing one project in the fields of education or research and innovation, and addressing smart urban coastal sustainability challenges. So it's small-scale projects. The amount, the funding available is not high. It's 4,400 euros per project, and it will help you finance mobilities, traveling, meetings with partners to develop your project ideas. Be careful, spendings really strictly related to research, meaning like consumables, research consumables, or purchase or personal costs related to research are not spendings eligible for this kind of call. But the eligibility criteria is really you should be at least 2 teams from 2 partner universities within EU-CONEXUS. You can involve other partners outside of the alliance, but they won't be funded. So the call is actually open until April 25, but have in mind that it will be reconducted with a new deadline end of August. So if in springtime you have the opportunity to develop such small-scale projects, feel free to position yourself and write a short application. Everything is online on our EU-CONEXUS website. If you type in an engine, research engine on the internet, EU-CONEXUS seed funding, you will find directly our webpage where everything, all of what I've just said is presented. And let's now speak about our topic of today, staff exchange call. And I let the floor to my colleague, Christina, who will explain you what it is.
Hi to you all. Good morning. I'm Christina from Frederick. Okay, I will start the presentation. Is it clear? You can hear me? Oh, perfect. Dear Lucy, you're going to be switching the slides, right? Thank you. Thank you. So, the European Commission invites applications for the Marie Sklodowska-Curie Actions Staff Exchanges Program under Horizon Europe. From now on, we're going to call it MSCA for its purposes. So the MSCA Staff Exchanges is a great EU-funded opportunity that supports international collaboration and staff mobility across institutions. At its core, Lucian, can we go to the next slide, please? At its core, it promotes collaboration across borders, disciplines, and sectors, something that aligns perfectly with the values of the EU-CONEXUS. It encourages the exchange of staff, whether researchers, administrative, or technical personnel, and supports them in developing new skills, in gaining international experience, and contributing to innovation. The emphasis on mobility and knowledge transfer makes this a particularly impactful opportunity for anyone involved in research and innovation. The program also trains, as we said, research, technical, and managerial staff. It strengthens small and medium enterprises, and it builds long-term academic and industry collaborations. Okay, we can now go to the next. Okay. This next slide highlights the added value of participating in MSCA Staff Exchange. For individuals, it's a chance to grow professionally and explain their international network. For institutions, it's about building long-term partnerships and strengthening research capacity through meaningful collaboration. It's a program that really invests in people and ideas, turning them into valuable contributions for society, science, and industry. Okay, let's continue. Okay, these are the key features of the MSCA. There is a bottom-up approach. Applicants are free to define their own research themes across any discipline or field of study. The top-up allowance is a 5,010 euro unit cost. We are going to analyze that later. The secondment is from first month until 12 months per staff. Interdisciplinary, international, intersectoral. We are going to analyze that later. The duration is 4 years. And there is a synergy with other EU grants apart from the MSCA projects. Okay. Okay, this is the eligibility criteria. These are the eligibility criteria. To apply the MSCA Staff Exchange, a consortium must include at least 3 independent legal entities from 3 different countries. 2 of which must be based in EU or Horizon Europe associated countries. I'm just mentioning below the non-EU countries that are associated with Horizon Europe. Just mentioning them, you can read them. But the heart of this program is a physical secondment, meaning staff must actually work on site at a partner institution. These exchanges can be international, intersectoral, or interdisciplinary. Lucimo, can we go to the next slide, please? Okay, international exchanges can be made between different countries, intersectoral between academic and non-academic organizations, for example, universities and industries, and interdisciplinary between different scientific disciplines. There are, though, specific rules to keep in mind. Within EU member states and Horizon Europe associated countries, the program emphasizes intersectoral exchanges. However, same sector exchanges, such as academic to academic, are only permitted if they are also interdisciplinary. For non-associated third countries, the rules are more flexible. Same sector exchanges are allowed even without interdisciplinary. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, this is an example, a small example with a minimum of 3 entities. We can see here that if all 3 entities are European, one should be from a different sector, as we have stated on the previous slide. If all 3 entities from the same sector, one must be located outside Europe. It's the one with the green set. Okay, this was the minimum example that we show. Yes, let's go. Okay, this slide now outlines who is eligible to participate and under what conditions. The program is open to all types of staff involved in research and innovation. These are researchers at any stage of their career, from doctoral candidates to postdoctoral researchers, administrative staff, managerial staff, and technical staff. Secondments, as we said on the other slide, has a duration of 1 to 12 months, can be split into several stages, though. However, the exchange must be full-time during the secondment period, and the staff members must return to their home afterwards, to their home institutions, I mean, afterwards. Okay, let's proceed. Okay, these are the standard evaluation criteria for the proposal. The excellence is 50%, and it stated on research objectives and methodology, innovation, potential, knowledge transfer and training. I think most of you're aware of these things. Impact 30%, career development, societal, scientific, economic contribution, and communication strategy, and implementation 20%. Work plan and risk management, resources, and collaboration quality. I think they're all very familiar with the researchers of these criteria. Let's go. Okay. This slide shows the staff exchange fund. Okay. Each eligible staff member is funded through a unit cost of 5,010 per month. This flat model is designed to cover all key aspects of participation. The staff member receives 2,710, which is intended to cover their living, mobility, and accommodation expenses during their secondment. There is an amount of 1,300 allocated for research, training, and networking activities. It should cover costs for training, transfer of knowledge, and networking activities. This cost. There is an amount of 1,000 on indirect cost overheads. And finally, there is an optional special needs allowance that can be requested. It's not an amount that is fixed, but can be requested, ensuring inclusivity and accessibility for staff with specific support requirements. And let's continue with our next slide, which it has some deadlines and the duration of the project. Project under the MSCA staff exchange can run for up to 4 years, offering a solid time frame for meaningful collaboration and staff mobility. It funds a budget of around, per project of around 1 million. And the total budget of this call is 82,076,000, showing the European Commission's strong commitment to international research cooperation. These are the deadlines below for the 2025 call. The call opens on March 27th. The submission deadline is up to October 8th of October 2025. The evaluation results are on March the 1st, and the grant agreement is on 1st of June 2026. Okay, we can proceed. And why apply, of course? These are the 4 points: enhance global research collaboration, build long-term industry academia network, boost innovation and staff development, and lastly, access funding for international mobility. As we said at the beginning, MSCA, it doesn't fund research activities directly. This call doesn't fund research activities directly. It is it promotes collaboration, and it gives support on international collaboration and staff mobility across institutions, finalizing on research on collaboration for research, but it doesn't fund research activities directly. Thank you all. I hope it was helpful. And we have, the evaluation results by panels 2023. The disciplines are rolled the chemistry, economics, engineering, environmental science, life science, maths, physics, and social science. Okay, with a very high success rate on each discipline. In 2023, the highest rate was on math, but as we can see, every discipline has a success rate of over 30%. So actually, as we see, 1 to 3 is a success proposal under MSCA. That's all. Thank you. Thank you very much. The resources, we have the resources here. They're available. Okay. And yes, Lucy.
Yeah, no, thank you very much, Christina. Just to add, you have on the slide our contact, Project Development Support Office contact. Yes. So it's projects@EU-CONEXUS.eu. And just I take also the opportunity to say that currently there is no matchmaking specific tool, but it's under reflection at the moment. And there is a survey open to which you can answer to express your needs in terms of a collaborative platform that could be developed to facilitate matchmaking between researchers of the Alliance. So you have the link on the slide. So please, you can really answer this survey to express your needs. Thank you very much again, and we will give the floor to Fanny Tironi. Fanny, will you be able to present your presentation, or do you want us to do it? What do you prefer?
I guess that I can share my screen. Let us try. Can you see my screen?
That's perfect.
And the slides moving?
Yes, that's
okay,
great.
That's the point. So I guess we can start. Okay, thank you very much for this invitation. It is a great pleasure for me to present our experience and share our experience and present our new project. My name is Fanny Tsironi. I'm an associate professor at the Agricultural University of Athens, and we have the pleasure to announce the selection for funding of our recent application under the MSCA Staff Exchanges call, AquaPack. I will start with a brief description, not with eligibility criteria and the rules that have been already presented, but with our tips and the points that we made, paid more attention during the preparation of our proposal. We know that the MSCA Staff Exchange Program, at its core, is about building the strong bridges across the country, sectors and disciplines through meaningful staff exchanges. Based on our experience finishing now a previously funded RISE project and having applied for the new project that we got, this is an exceptional opportunity to promote the knowledge sharing and skill development and collaborative innovation between the academia, the industry, and beyond the partners in general. First of all, when you even think about submitting for this for a proposal in this call, it's very important that you have understood very, very well the rules that have been presented to you in the previous presentations. The secondments should be cross-sectorial, should be international and interdisciplinary. I strongly recommend you to attend the official info days that are hosted by the European Commission or by the national contact points, because there you can gain valuable insights, you can learn about updates, and also you have the opportunity to clarify any questions directly. Building a strong consortium is a crucial point for your success. Choose your partners wisely. Ensure that their expertise complements each other with clear roles and mutual benefits. You need to understand this relationship in the consortium and give it clearly in the proposal. You should aim for a balanced geographical and sectorial mix. This is very important also, including both EU and non-EU countries if needed. We didn't have this opportunity, but we succeeded. Most importantly, select the partners who are committed to hosting meaningful secondment, not just signing the agreements, because these will be clear also during the implementation of the project. When you select the partners to invite in your application, always ask yourself, what unique value does each partner bring in the consortium, and how will they actively contribute to the knowledge exchange process? Because in the proposal, you will be asked to justify the role of each partner and how each one of the secondment will contribute to the implementation of the overall work plan. Next, you need to design a clear and effective exchange plan. This is a key. First, align each secondment with the overall objectives of your project. A visual secondment matrix can help with this. I will give you examples from our proposal in the second part of this presentation. Strive for balance in the exchanges, ensuring that both sectors, the RTDs and the industrial partners, and also the disciplines can benefit from the secondments. Justify the duration and the timing of each secondment very carefully in the work plan and emphasize the focus on the capacity building, because this will give you strong points in the evaluation process and, of course, and subsequently more higher grading. Don't forget to include both early stage and experienced researchers, and always anticipate the potential challenges to ensure the smooth execution of the project. Next, it is essential to structure your research and innovation project very, very clearly. Define the specific objectives, a solid methodology, and the expected outcomes from the project. Make sure that the project is interdisciplinary and innovative, integrating the secondments into the core research activities. You should highlight the potential for long-term cooperation and capacity building in the consortium. Finally, when selecting the evaluation panel, it's important to choose the one that best aligns with the core research focus, rather than just a broad theme. So think very carefully about the overall plan and select the correct panel, because this panel will select the pool, will use a specific pool and select the evaluators for the project. You need to be sure that the evaluators can understand very well the proposal that you are writing. A key part of your proposal is also the impact section, and why I am paying more attention on the impact. Here you are asked to clearly explain how your project will enhance the staff skills, foster the career development, and strengthen the institutional cooperation. You should emphasize in the impact the contribution of the project to the European research area, and you should outline how the results will be disseminated and exploited. You should include a detailed risk management and sustainability plans, and through this, in order to achieve this, it will be very helpful to introduce specific KPIs. In the impact section, it's important that you are concrete. I suggest that you avoid any vague claims like this will improve the collaboration or something like that in general. Instead, you should provide specific examples of how your project will generate measurable impact and who will benefit from that. Writing a competitive proposal requires attention to detail and structure. You should follow the Part B template very, very closely and focus on the excellence, impact, and implementation as presented by Christina before. You should use clear and concise language, supported by visual aids like tables, figures, and diagrams to enhance the readability. You should make it very easy for the evaluator to understand each specific point and how the secondments and the research activities are linked together. Use clear and concise language, supported by all these graphs and the visual figures. Ensure the strong coherence between your objectives, the secondments, and the expected impact, using, for example, some schemes that link the actions between each other. Before the submission, get both internal and external reviews to refine your proposal. Sometimes this is easier for us to define vague topics in the proposal, some mistakes that the one who is writing is not easy to define, to determine. And always, of course, remember to tell a cohesive story. Use clear transitions between the sections and consistently reuse the key terms, the concepts for a smooth and narrative flow of the proposal. In general, it's important to write the proposal as a whole, not just collect different parts and prepare the final file. Finally, make sure, of course, to submit your proposal via the EU portal, considering all the deadlines and required documentation. avoid any common pitfalls, for example, vague secondment plan, weak impact assessment, insufficient cross-sectorial interactions between the while describing the work plan. Seek support from national contact points if you need support, further support, or a proposal writing expert to strengthen your submission. Taking these steps always will greatly enhance your chances to success. And now let's see to the second part of the proposal and regarding our successful Aquapac project. This was funded through the MSCA Staff Exchange Program last year. So we're talking about Aquapac. This is a 48-month project, which will start this July, 1st of July 2025, and involves overall 15 partners from 9 countries. To be honest, this is a somehow large project for MSCA project. It could be shorter in terms of the partnership, but we were very, very enthusiastic during the preparation of this proposal, and we wanted to expand with more activities and more partners. We had been, based on our discussions with experts, we had been advised to keep it as short as possible, but we didn't manage it. So the good thing is that we made it at all. The consortium spans diverse sectors. They include aquaculture, cosmetics, packaging materials, and smart packaging. Our coordinator is the Agricultural University of Athens, and we all together will work on innovative, sustainable packaging solutions using aquatic biomass and side streams. So these are the partners, the Aquapac partners. You see 8 research institutes or universities and 7 industrial partners. You see that there is a balance between the RTDs and the companies that participate in the projects to enhance the collaboration and the equal contribution from both sectors. 4 partners are EU-CONEXUS partner members, the Agricultural University of Athens, the University of Zadar, La Rochelle University, and the Universidad Católica de Valencia. Very, very high. We're very, very happy for this, and thank you for this collaboration. The Aquapac project adopts a holistic approach to address the challenges of food waste and plastic packaging. All these schemes have been, that I show you in the proposal, have been used in the proposal. So these are not new schemes that we created for this presentation. These are schemes that visual aids that we used also in the proposal file to enhance the readability of the proposal to the evaluator. In this scheme, we explained the Aquapac project design, what we are going to do. So based on that, on this scheme, we show that by valorizing the fish processing side streams and developing innovative biodegradable packaging systems using aquatic biomass, where we include also micro and macro algae, we aim to reduce the plastic waste and enhance the sustainability of the food and the cosmetics industry. So what we are doing in a few lines is to develop novel biodegradable packaging materials appropriate for the preservation of perishable food products and cosmetics. This scheme helped us to clearly illustrate the project structure and highlighted the 4 main pillars of our project, each one representing the key phases of our work. And these 4 pillars show how they are interconnected through the 9 work packages that describe the work plan of our project. The work package 1 focuses on developing the technological solutions for producing the aquatic biomass for active biodegradable packaging materials. These biomasses will be used to produce bioactive compounds and biopolymers through green extraction, but also through fermentation processes. Work package 2 and work package 3 will evaluate the bioactivity of these compounds and will develop various packaging materials, including smart systems. Work package 4 tailors these innovations to fresh fish and cosmetics. Fresh fish is the case study as a perishable food products and cosmetics, and ensuring shelf-life extension, safety, and improve sustainability in our products. In work package 5, the packaging system's performance will be assessed mainly by the industrial partners in collaboration with the RTDs, and in work package 6, the knowledge transfer activities will be implemented very, very carefully. Work package 8 will evaluate the feasibility of the developed methods and the products that will be developed through the project. Work package 7 will focus on dissemination, and 9 ensures the efficient management through the project. All these work packages and tasks are designed to work together and create strong partnerships. This is a scheme that we selected to include in our proposal to define and clearly justify the transfer of knowledge through the project, which is the main point, the main aspect of an MSCA staff exchange project. The goals are clear and they match industry and EU priorities and are achievable. The Aquapack project offers a great benefit for SMEs because you can indicate very clearly how, what each company will introduce to the project and how it will benefit it from the RTD, the collaboration with the RTDs. It gives to the industrial partners the chance to test their products with potential clients, for example, in a large EU market. And we tried with this scheme to highlight that the Aquapack network will boost the technology transfer by encouraging the collaboration between research and industry. And this is given specifically for each one of the partners that collaborate in this project. We try to show that the consortium will help bridge the gaps between the different industry, for example, food producer, cosmetic producers, suppliers, packaging industries, as well as between the industry and the academia in general. So, having introduced the Aquapack and its successful framework, giving you all the tips to submit for a proposal and having this submission number at the end of the submission process, we have shared all the key strategies that help us have the pleasure to share that this proposal, this proposal submission process led to our success. By following these tips and fostering your enthusiasm, we hope that you develop a proposal that stands out and meets all the rigorous standards of the MSCA Staff Exchange Program. And we wish you very, very good luck.
Thank you
very
much. Thank you very much, Fanny. That's great. Thank you. It's really interesting to hear your advice and what you did with Aquapack project. So we have kind of finished. I don't know if there are questions. I saw nothing in the chat, but feel free to raise your hand and open your micro if you want to ask a question. Or everything was clear? I don't know, no questions. I think I see. Please, Antoinette.
Hello, thank you for the presentations. Just regarding Aquapack, what do your deliverables look like? Is there a report for each work package, or how do you report on the activities of the project?
Both. This is interesting that in this we have work packages that are specific work packages RTD based. So you have deliverables where you provide the technical part of the work that will be implemented through the secondment, and there are also deliverables that monitor the process of the exchange, the staff exchange process. Most of the actions that are under the required activities, for example, the reports for each one of the secondments are not a deliverable because they are prerequisite for the secondments to be paid.
Okay.
So most of the deliverables are in general technical.
Okay.
And it's important that you see when you implement a staff exchange plan, to my experience, now finishing one, a RISE, which is the previous, let's say, staff exchanges. It's more or less the same, but the difference is in the eligibility criteria and the amount that are paid for its secondment. So when you finish a number of secondments between specific partners, you see that you collect a large amount of data because each secondment is built on the experience of the previous one.
Okay.
So what we did is after a set of secondments, we write a publication.
Very good.
So under
Okay.
this context, you have the collected data from this interaction to feed your deliverables. So the deliverables are mainly technical as a research-based deliverable, but you have also deliverable with your publications, the training activities, a workshop, for example, that you will prepare, you will organize, maybe some protocols that you develop through the project that can be introduced and shared openly to the community, whatever you wish.
Okay, great. I have 2 more questions, if that's okay. How do you build in support for researchers and people who are traveling to other countries? How do you build in a support network when they arrive in a new place? And also, do you organize all partner meetings where you all get together at a certain point in the project?
Yes, there are projects there are project meetings that are organized, both virtually and also in person, because you have some an amount that can be spent by the partners as the partners wish. So you have also the funding to attend meetings. For traveling, for example. So it's very important that you organize meetings.
Yes.
You can have, for example, annual meetings in person and intermediate meetings that can be virtual, for example. This is very, very important to build the collaboration. And in order to, what was the first part of the question? Sorry, how you?
So I was writing a project previously on the postdoctoral fellowships and for Marie Curie, and it was all, have a lot of support for researchers when they arrive in a new country. So I just wonder, with staff exchanges, what supports do you have to build into the project if a researcher comes to your organization, or if you're a researcher who's traveling on secondment? How do you create a nice atmosphere when they arrive? What supports do you build in?
This is something that has to do with the collaboration of the partners, especially the host partner. Most of the partners in the AquaPack project have collaborated in the past in previous projects. So most of them know each other very well.
That's good.
So there is also previous experience. For example, when we host partners at the university, we have the experience from some specific places for accommodation from the Erasmus students, for example, or something like that.
Okay.
So this is something you can. We make our plan for the secondments very early. We don't. For example, 3 or 4 months ago, so as to be sure that we can have all the documentation, the invitation letters, the approval from our institutes for both hosting or sending staff. So this is something that you build through the implementation of the project by knowing each other. It's important to have the first meeting in person, the kickoff meeting, so you have the opportunity to make the linkage.
Great. Thank you. No, it sounds really good that when a person arrives, it's really easy. Everything is already in place. So great.
And
Thank you.
To be honest, this is very important that the staff exchange can involve actual staff, no students. But for the universities, PhD students and upper are considered as staff.
Okay.
So this is something that it's important to mention.
Nice. Thank you. Good. Best of luck with your project. Thank you.
Thank you for the questions and the answers, Fanny. There is a question in the chat. Can you please give an idea on budget, Aquapack, and is it allowed to purchase instruments?
The budget. The budget is something more than 1.5 million in general. It's allowed to purchase instruments. It's allowed to purchase whatever you wish, provided that you have the available budget. So if you, for example, send, let's say, 10 person months, you receive the respective amount. You have to spend specific amount for the sending staff, and the remaining amount can be spent as you wish. This is very important. It's not a project that can give you a large amount to spend for research as it is, as Christina indicated, but the amount that you can spend, although it's not high, it's very flexible. That's how we can, this is why these projects are very attractive in terms of the flexibility, and of course the main the flexibility of the budget. But the main part, the main point for this kind of project to be very attractive is the very strong linkage that we can build between the partners, so we have the opportunity to prepare and apply for a large research-based project in the future. That's the main aspect. But of course, it is allowed to purchase instruments, and whatever you wish, you can spend the remaining project, the remaining amount in traveling, publications, consumables, whatever you wish, instruments, whatever.
Thank you, Fanny.
Lucy,
please. Yeah, sure.
Go for thanks a lot, Fanny, for the presentation. A practical question, since you have also experience from a previous RISE project, your faculty members at the university, the funding for these projects comes specifically for the secondment, or from the months of secondment for the staff. I presume the faculty members themselves don't have enough time to spend on secondment.
Of course.
Unless you go for a sabbatical for a semester or whatever.
Exactly.
For a year. So how do you handle that? I think you kind of mentioned that with the PhD students for the university. But on the other hand, also the companies that collaborate with the universities, it's not easy to send staff abroad because they need to keep their salaries. It's a requirement of the program. So just give us on the practical side of things, how you handle this issue.
From the university point of view, the PhD students are running the, let's say, 19% of the secondments or even higher. So PhD students and postdocs that are contracted at the same time under other projects are considered as staff, are the sending staff for the university in general. When we host other partners, which means industrial partners, we can have this, of course, the number of the secondments is much lower, so the budget for the company is not as high as the one for the universities. That's why we tried to include more companies so as to be sure that we have a balance in the partnership, not in the number of the secondments. For example, there might be 60 or 70% of the secondments originating from universities and 30% of the secondments originating from companies, especially during the summer period or during some periods that they are more easy for the companies to send staff. But the companies that participate in this kind of project are often companies that have the share the same enthusiasm with us, with exchange, transfer of knowledge, and training their staff. So mainly they send their younger staff that they want them to be educated and be trained via RTD activities, for example, to be included in an R&D department or something like that. So what I would suggest is to include a higher number of companies, of industrial members, higher than 3 or 4, for example, to achieve a balance in the sending and receiving.
Okay, I think you've covered me. I have a kind of a specific question, but I think I'll leave it for.
You can also send me a message so I can give you an instruction. Yes, directly. Yes.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. I think I don't see any other question unless someone can speak directly, but I don't see it. So, okay. No, there is some, yeah, okay. Hi, could you please, there is another question that came. Could you please provide some background on your experience relevant to this submission? Also, what is your opinion on projects whose outputs are likely to benefit more organizations or partners outside the EU than inside it?
To be honest, my experience in these 2 projects that we have succeeded in the applications, we didn't include any non-EU countries. I mean non-EU geographically, because in Aquapac we have UK, but UK is an associated country. And the reason why we didn't include any non-EU country is that we didn't find it very easy to define how their funding will be achieved. What I have heard and in my overall experience, I can understand that it is beneficial for a proposal to include non-EU countries. But I have not personal experience on that, on how this can be done, because I have also not personal experience from our institution of how this can be handled. So we, in Aquapac proposal, we had a large number of partners in total, so we tried to keep it as simple as possible in terms of the implementation. I have the sense that is beneficial for a proposal to include non-EU countries, but I don't have any previous experience on that. And I think that every institute has different rules. So what I can understand is that these partners will not sign a grant agreement, but they will sign either a consortium agreement or a partnership agreement after the acceptance, so as to define how these partners will be funded. For example, by the national funding agency, by the partners that are already EU partners and get the funding. I'm not sure. It depends on the country, I guess.
Okay, thank you, Fanny, for this reply. What I can add, but it's a long time ago, I appeared to follow a project that was implemented with partners outside of the EU. It was not staff exchange call, but it was the RISE call you mentioned previously, Fanny. And it appeared that at that time, but I know that the unit cost has been increased, but at that time, the unit cost was okay for, I mean, exchanges within the EU, but outside the EU, depending on the cost of life in the country, host country, it was sometimes difficult. The amount was like a bit not really high, you know. So it was a bit complicated because it appeared that in some countries that units cost didn't cover all the needs for the staff that was who was visiting the country or the partner. So there can be, I mean, maybe it's better now, but at that time it was like this. So I don't know. But there could be some issues like this as well when you. But of course, with that, let's say that type of call, the EU, I mean, the Commission really wants to develop international collaborations. So it's true that you can really, as Aquapac, be only within the EU, but it's also like, let's say, promote. I mean, there is also a promotion, and there is also the opportunity to work with partners outside the EU, which can be also interesting. Okay, yeah. Any other question? Yeah, no. Thank you for the session and explanations. Okay, you're welcome. Okay, but we will stop now. I think we were really brief, but 1 hour is just perfect. So thank you very much to all. Thank you very much, Fanny, Christina, for the presentations. It was really nice. So you will receive, I mean, all the participants will receive the presentations. And we will also update our web page with the Joint Communication Unit of EU-CONEXUS, where we will put the presentation and also the video so that you can watch it again if you want. Please do not hesitate to contact us, to contact Fanny if you have specific questions on Aquapac, or Project Development Support Office if you have any other question. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Fanny.
Have a nice day.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, Fanny.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.